Hey guys, welcome to my new movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Charlie Kaufman film, Anomalisa, or Anomalisa for those who, however you want to pronounce this movie. There's like three different ways to pronounce it. So Anomalisa, we'll call it that for now, is a film. It's actually a stop motion animated movie. It's about a businessman who's on this business trip and he's staying at this hotel and he's kind of sick of the ordinary. He's sick of the mundane. Everything's kind of the same for him, like all the advices and all the places that people are telling him to go visit. And while I think he's in Cincinnati, Ohio, on this business trip, everybody's kind of telling him the same thing and explaining things the same way. So he's just kind of sick of everything, and he just wants to experience something new and happy again because he hasn't had that in his life for a long time. So while he's staying at this hotel, about to go to this big conference that he has to do for his job, he meets a woman named Lisa, who he meets through a friend of his. And Lisa's really impressed with this book that he worked on a while ago. And the two of them kind of start forming this little romance thing together. And so this guy's really intrigued by her. I think his name is Michael Stone, by the way. And there's something about her that really fascinates him. It's the way, he loves her voice, and he loves he just really loves her company, and she brings something to the table that nobody else seems to kind of make the film more unique too. She kind of sounds the most different compared to everybody else that he's met in this hotel. And I'll briefly go over that, my positives and negatives of why that I think that's pretty effective actually. But it definitely makes the point that that this character is kind of sick of the ordinary. He's sick of experiencing the same things over and over again, and he wants to see something new and happy. And meeting this woman named Lisa might be the key for him to get to that happiness. So overall, guys, I liked Anomalisa. I thought this was a good movie. I wouldn't say it's the best Charlie Kaufman movie. I really liked. I actually kind of like him better as a writer than a director, I think, so far. Because as far as him just as an artist, as a writer, I loved Adaptation. He wrote that for Spike Jonze. He also wrote Being John Malkovich for Spike Jonze. Both films I absolutely loved. I loved both of those scripts that he worked on. I know some people liked Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I wasn't too huge on that one. Um, but I think definitely Charlie Kaufman's a very talented man. I think he has interesting things to say about life and about film, and I can definitely see why his opinion about movies is to always kind of do a lot of things with that one movie, is because when people go revisit it later on in hopes that they'll see something different that they weren't able to see the first time. Anomalisa definitely has certain aspects of that belief that he has. But once again, we're going to go over some of these things. But yeah, I think definitely it has that Charlie Kaufman stamp to it. And I think a lot of people are going to like this, but if you didn't like Adaptation or Being John Malkovich or even Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, this film won't change your mind about him. But I think for me personally, I thought this was a good movie for him, even though I don't think it's his best movie. So for my positives and negatives of this movie, I liked how certain moments of the film almost felt like a live action movie. It really does feel like something that would be existing somewhere. There's kind of times throughout the movie where you have to remind yourself that this is an animated film, because like the hotel rooms, the desks in the offices, the bar that this lead character goes to, everything looks like something that we could actually go out and visit somewhere. They definitely got the hotel look right too, just how the rooms are laid out, where the shower is, the fact that the water is extremely hot when you first turn it on. Small details like that I think Kaufman nailed with bringing from reality and into this animated movie. So he definitely nailed the live action part of it. He brought that to animation, and as a result, he made an animated film that looks a lot like a live action movie. Another positive I had about the movie, this kind of goes back to why this character feels like everything's ordinary and mundane, feels like the same thing over and over again. They kind of limited the voice cast on purpose to get a sense of mundanity, and when something is really good or something's interesting or something important to this character has come up, such as this Lisa character, they like to have those happy surprises in there. But to go back to the mundanity and to that limited voice cast, They don't really have a very big voice cast in this movie, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And I think that definitely adds to the movie. I think it, when somebody recommends something to him, and then the next person after that recommends it to him, and he sounds exactly like the person before, I think that adds to the mundanity of the movie, and I think that part of it was really interesting. So as far as limited voice cast goes, the film did a very good job emphasizing why that was important. The film also shows the impacts of how love and discovery can impact people, how finding out that you're in love with someone or feeling like you're in love with someone is a really special feeling. And when that happens, it's kind of something you really can't explain to somebody. All you can really know is that that's really special to you and that it's something that could probably be the next step of your life. That's a good thing. And for discovery, I liked how the film shows that when somebody discovers something special and unique, it really emphasizes why that is, kind of that feeling when people experience that. So the film, both of those are kind of one and the same, but I like how the film shows the impact of both love and discovery. Another positive I had about the movie was that you can definitely feel the Charlie Kaufman look and feel to this movie. That you can definitely feel the Kaufman stamp here. Just the fact that it's a really depressed character, that he's doing something with the movie that emphasizes what the film's messages is about and what kind of tone he's going for. There's little snippets of comedy here and there. So if you've seen Kaufman's work before, you'll definitely recognize it immediately. He definitely continues that too with Anomalisa. So if you like Charlie Kaufman, if you like his look and feel of his films, Anomalisa continues that. For my negatives of the movie, this one's kind of debatable. I know some people are probably going to really love this part of the movie. For me personally, I would have preferred them sticking with the realism, but doing something that could have improved upon the thing I'm about to talk about. The character faces in this movie are very unusual, and so this is going into my negatives. They almost look like every character in the movie has a pair, like kind of like when I'm wearing like a pair of glasses right here. It looks like they have frames right here, but like you get to the eyes, I'm like, oh wait, that's actually their eyes. They're not wearing glasses. Um, it almost feels like these characters have no glasses on, but they have frames on the side of their face, like they do have glasses. So that's kind of a thing I caught right away, and I don't know if I like that. They kept that for every character in the movie. You can definitely tell they would pop a new face on, or put something new on there when a certain emotion's being expressed for a certain scene. I know that's just the animation process, but to me it felt a little lazy how they couldn't go into post-production and clean that up maybe a little bit, because you could see the whole outline to where the certain mouth or eye features go for certain scenes. I mean, you can definitely tell they just recently posted it all together in post-production, so that no glasses look kind of got annoying to me after a while. I also didn't like the limited range of sets and sceneries in this movie. Most of this film takes place in a hotel or in places that either spend way too much time with or not enough time with. So this film has a limited range of sets and sceneries, and it just doesn't feel as big as it could be as far as scenes and sets go. I also thought this film had an abrupt ending. It felt like a scene that would probably happen in the middle of other movies. This movie has a scene towards the end that feels like something that's in the middle of the movie or about to start something else, and it almost feels like something out of the middle of Gone Girl, to be honest. Like right in the middle of that movie, not something towards the end of that one. Um, it just felt a little abrupt. Um, I felt like there wasn't enough closure to the movie to leave me with something to think about after the movie was done with. There were still certain things I thought about for sure, but as far as the story goes, I wanted something that felt like it had more closure to the ending. And then my last negative with the movie was I thought there were some misleading starting points. They would introduce an idea, something pretty big too, that what you think the story's next big story point would be, and then they would start it, and then they would either not continue it for the next scene, or it would go unfinished. And that goes to my last point: was certain scenes in this movie really feel unfinished. They don't feel like they're completely explored the way they should be before the movie's done with. So I would have preferred more closure to those things. So overall, I'm going to give Anomalisa an 8 out of 10. I think this is a good movie. It definitely has great moments in it. I like how it looks like a live action film. I love the limited voice cast, the impacts of love and discovery on people. The Kaufman stamp is definitely here in the movie. but that no glasses face look that looked like the post production process wasn't done with the animation, the limited range of sets and scenery, the abrupt ending, and the misleading starting points is ultimately what leads Anomalisa into a film that's good, that's definitely a noble effort from Kaufman, but not quite as good as, like, let's say, Being John Malkovich or Adaptation. So, good movie, not a great movie. If you like Charlie Kaufman, it's worth checking out. But like I said, don't go into it expecting his best film. I think he's made better films than this one, but still a good movie. Kind of interesting to see Charlie Kaufman go into animation for once.